easy to get paid, it will be easy to get laid. We need family first aid. Kids ain't pawns to be played, but through it all, I'm glad she chose life. I just wish the woman in the mirror saw herself as a mother and a wife.
She was beautiful from head to toe, a concrete rose. Every time she stepped out, she was classy, never too much exposed. This girl had things going for her. Good grades. Mama said, the only thing that stays high in this house is your blood clot GPA. She cared about her books just as much as her looks, but she was amazing. She could orchestrate notes on a cello that only Lucifer himself could compete against. She was smart, brilliant, artistic, yet quiet, meek, and mellow. He was popular. One of those, I'm gonna make it to the league by any means as long as I don't injure my hamstring type fellows. His father pushed him, maybe to the extreme, reminded that son, you're the first to go to college, so go hard for your family. For me, his grandmother and mother had died of cancer when he was just a baby. Raised by Uncle Lukey, cousin Dede, he never got the grip on how to treat a lady they met. Open house night, student union at JCSU. She was reading about Timothy Drew. He was chilling with some Qs. So he walks over, introduces himself. Their conversation sprang from revolution to cocaine to Jesus. Y'all, he won her heart when he testified about the women he's lost and explained how he would just wish for one queen to stay in his life this time. Months pass by. Her trust is given in. Yet her innocence, she refuses to give up. And cousin like, bruh, if she love you, she'll show it. She just sticking around, so when you make it big, she gonna get paid. So they formulated a plan. Y'all, that night the moon didn't shine. The stars seemed to fall. He brings her to his cousin's frat party. They sit and talk. And he tells her how much she means to him. How much his life has been changed, and that night things changed. His cousin brings her a Coke, music banging loud. 30 minutes later, she passes out, carried to the back room. He said, if I do this, she'll never leave me. So he undresses her garments, slips down her panties and rips her open stroke after stroke. The earth cries, and he's done. But then cousin walks in, and he like, you know, we fam. Ain't no fun.
Well, I can't get none.
Homies get some more inside her. Hours go by and the music ceases. She awakens the next morning feeling empty, cold, no melody in her notes, but she trusted him. So she runs and runs. No use saying could boat her back fast enough. She packs all her clothes. It's the first train home where mama sit waiting, ready to hold her baby, for she is damaged, Divinity leaked from her war-torn womb. 9 months pass. After 9 suicide attempts, she's getting herself together. Carrying a seed with a nameless daddy, she's determined. She's going to bring this child into the world, raise him as a prince, and he will be a king, for she is a queen and he'll never have to worry, for she will never leave. Phone rings. It's cousin Dede. He explains to her what happened that night. In tears, he apologizes over and over and tells her that Saturday after the party, his cousin was on the field, ball thrown his way, and he was hit the wrong way, MCL torn, but he only wished that it was his heart, out for the season. That night, he overdosed on 9 pills and couldn't be revived, holding her belly, with tears in her eyes, for she was forgiving. His father pushed him, maybe over the cliff. And that same cliff, she hung on to for dear life, her water breaks. She prepares to birth life. She gives thanks for this girl's life.
Wow. If you came here anticipating some type of spectacular speech on how we freed South Africa, then unfortunately you've been overpriced for your seats. And ladies, I can't begin to tell you how to undo what you allowed that brother to do to you because I don't write for you. And you would still be incorrect if you honestly expect for my words to save this nation. Screaming revolution, claiming I have a solution. My true revolution begins with myself. And since we can barely even seem to stand together, since we can barely even seem to see my wealth together, what is 1,000 of your pistols going to do to one U.S. missile? Fool, I don't write for you. Just like Aaron didn't write to excite the Levites. I refuse to use a sexy word collage just to fuse your muse to get your oohs and your ahs, your standing ovations. See, I don't write for you. This is for my rehabilitation. And though I've only been doing this poetry thing for just a moment, I can't help but notice that some of these poets are just a little bit bogus. And I'm not trying to throw stones, but I need that shit that's going to shake my bones. And these clones seem nervous. I mean, they can't move me beyond my epidermis. Even after 40 days and 40 nights, their very best verses. I didn't even rehearse this. See, I can go up to churches and slam music curses. Have a little old ladies digging into the deep depths of their purses. Holy Ghost up in their cervix before the start of the morning service. Because they full-time lack purpose. Well, I be defecating verses like I was Zora Neale Hurston. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm just a whole lot deeper than the surface. Murking through slam spots to drop poetic jazz and hip-hop. Remixed in basements with hits of scat and bebop. You think not? Lies. My art cries revolution, so it cannot be televised. My art is freedom, so it cannot be revised. You think not? Lies. If they stretch their minds as far as they stretch their ego size, then after the slams, they can at least walk away with third prize. But God forbid they jeopardize their pride. I'll stay the bold entree. You stay aside the cold fries. Here's an FYI. There were 17 Diallos prior to his existence. There were 17 Chesalots prior to her resistance. There were 17 circles of children by the pairs shot down prior to the shooting of the square. I was there, low-key, my black book and weed, writing scriptures as they bleed, and I couldn't hear them scream because my screams were screaming louder. I couldn't hear them dream because my dreams were dreaming louder. I couldn't write for them. I broke my number 2. I couldn't write for them, and I'll be damned to write for you.
Born from Mother Africa, all with the same home, a blend of spirit and soma we roam. Every crevice of the planet we've home, transcending time zones, spread from many lands. Hardly. Born by Mother Africa, all with the same home, a blend of spirit and soma we roam. Every crevice of the planet we've home, transcending time zones, spread to many different climates and lands, separating the species with shades of tan. We are the descendants of Eve, or is it Lucy? But humanity nowadays is a term I use loosely. Functionally, are we man or mere monkeys who have fallen far from the trunk of the tree? Man is the line between animal and divine, but at times our wild origins intertwine with our heaven-sent intelligence, making us hesitant to be reverent. The animal is man that's instinct ruled his being while living in fear or denial of the all-seeing. To our nation we concede with deleterious deeds. The weeds are the saplings are choked by whimsical weeds. Like hyenas to the zebra or wolves upon the sheep, the strong prey on the weak and the meek. How then can you distinguish man from beast?
So, Mr. President, I beg your pardon for this charge of prostitution, but it seemed like my only solution. See, I'm no different from Monica, but after years of destitution, I couldn't conceive of a government job as my payoff. So I settled for just enough for daily support. And pardon me, Mr. President, for committing armed robbery. I didn't want to make it my own. Mr. President, excuse me for committing armed robbery. I didn't want to make it my hobby, but all the convenience stores in my state look just like Watergate, so I thought it would be okay if I infiltrated. Pardon me, Mr. President, for selling drugs. I never wanted to be labeled a thug, but owning my own company was my dream, so like Joe Kennedy, I had to scheme, breaking Rockefeller laws, but didn't remember to hide my flaws. I thought you and I were partners, you being my biggest customer. But after years of pumping energy into the economy, all that I've earned is confiscated. But you and I were once affiliated. So now